and welcome back to the Rigged Recap, where I'm joined by my co-host all season long, Kayla Says.
And we are joined by the only good Drag Race YouTuber, Runner I. The only good one.
Thank you so much for having me, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. If it's any consolation, like Derek, I watch your videos. I'm probably, if you get 50 viewers, 49 of those are me. So just know.
I always tell people Pierce is my favorite Drag Race YouTuber. So
I appreciate that. I tell that mine is Jack Fed, but you're Okay, I told you 1,000 times. I watch your videos. I'm in there. I'm like locked in. I appreciate all the like graphics that you do. And I actually love you. And actually, I have notifications on for you, which I do not have on for a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could say the same, but I don't have notifications on for a single soul ever. If I'm meant to see it, it'll pop up.
I do with literally you, and I used to have Jenna Marbles, and I still do, but girl, she ain't coming back.
One day you're gonna get that notification, and it's gonna change your whole world.
You're gonna lose your
mind. Life. Oh, could you imagine? I'm not gonna hold my breath for it though.
Every season, we love to have Pierce on for the craziest episode of the season. And last week, when we heard, because we had a different guest for Snatch Game originally, and then when we heard Snatch Game of Love Island, I said, cut the cameras, we're getting Pierce.
And I'm so excited to be here. I love that I get brought on for like the stupid episodes, because there's been other like podcasts that I've been on where I get brought on for the girl group. I always get brought on for a girl group, and I don't know anything about girl group, but this is something that I know about because it's stupid and dumb. And so thank you so much for having me on these like stupid little episodes that make like no sense, because I feel like I fit in here. This is like what I'm supposed to talk about on these shows.
Yeah, this is your home. This is your home.
But if you're going to be doing girl group episodes, like you need to post a verse. You need to post like a diss track. Oh my gosh, you should post a diss track about me or something.
Maybe. Could you imagine? Maybe if you get canceled for something, do you think you're going to get canceled soon? Maybe I'll jump on that bandwagon.
Well, we were just talking about that, Kayla and I. Like, when are we getting canceled? Like, it's coming eventually, I'm sure. But
you think so? Do you think you're already canceled a little bit on Twitter?
I mean,
Derek is somehow more canceled than I am. I fear
they ran me off the platform. So I would say
they got him, gal. Meanwhile, Pierce, I love when Pierce appears in my Twitter mentions at like the funniest possible times. There was last week I was I tweeted that Brian got me flowers, and then Pierce was in my mentions and said, well, because Brian got me flowers because I was sad, and Pierce was like, well, I'm sad too, Brian. Where the fuck are my flowers? I'm like, real.
And I love you
get you flowers too.
Just give them a little like, there's no like overdrawn like reply. You're just like, I appreciate that.
There's never a thread. It's just a like.
Yeah, I'm like, I appreciate that you're there.
I just want the acknowledgement from Kayla. That's all I want.
And I'm always happy to give it to you.
Thank you.
I love that you guys have this cute little friendship, because what I'm hearing is if I were to get canceled, Pierce would literally be the first one on Twitter to be like, ha, told you. I
haven't done that so far. I have not done that so far. You always come up in the Twitters. Like people will always kind of just like bring you back up every like 3 months or so. And then I hear about it from like you. I normally don't see it, even though like I'm chronically addicted to Twitter. But I feel like you're the one who's like, yeah, they got another thread on me. And like, oh.
I will randomly get like people will send me like, hey, they're talking about you on Twitter again, and I'm like, fuck. What? Because you're not even on it
now. You're not even on it. That's the crazy thing. Is because like
you're not there to defend yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like if you're like causing issues on Twitter, then sure, get like canceled on Twitter. But I feel like if someone's not even there, it's like that's really they're just in it for like the love of the game at that point.
Yeah, they're hating straight for the love of the game. There's no other.
I know you're not even gonna see it.
I can't be that mad because, like, you know what? At least I'm still relevant on Twitter, and I'm not even there.
Yeah, you are. And you know what? All publicity is good publicity, is what they say. But that does not feel. I do not subscribe to that. But that's what they say.
Pierce, how are you feeling about season 18? What are your thoughts so far going into the season?
I have been enjoying it so far. I enjoy when any, Drag Race content is aired. I don't subscribe to the belief of like oversaturation or whatever. I think it's nice to just have a new season to talk about. I'm not like locked in like UK season 6 way or something. Like the last time that I was like super devoted to a season was like UK season 6. I'm not like that like locked in. But I follow it week to week. It's something to watch. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts?
Oh, you don't listen, so you don't know them?
No, I listened to. I think I'm breaking up. I think I got.
Well, Pierce is, of course, the ideal Drag Race viewer in the sense that he is just watching and having a fun time and being cool and normal. And that's what we want for everyone watching this show, especially for an episode as controversial as this one.
You think it was that controversial? Yeah, it actually was. You know, we can get it.
We'll get into it.
I think what's unfortunate for this season is that UK versus the World 3 is airing at the same time. And whenever like two seasons are airing, the one that's better is always going to make the one that's not as good look worse. And that's season 18 for me right now. Like UK 3 is just so fun. And this one's like not.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the benefit that season 18 has is that UK season 3, like the versus the world, will end soon enough because those UK versus the world seasons are shorter, and then people will suddenly become infatuated by this season. Hopefully, that's what they're probably hoping for at this point.
Yeah. And there's still time for the season to like have like a heel turn. Is that when you like do you turn good?
Heel turn is when you turn evil.
What's the other one then?
I mean, there's a face turn.
Face turn.
If you're going through wrestling terms, yeah.
Yes. We're gonna have a face turn at some point. We needed the fall of Mia Starr for the season to rise from her ashes.
Okay, that's an optimistic take. I'm on board with that. Let's get on that. Let's talk about that.
So this episode, I will say, mini challenges. Why not? Like, I just feel like so much of these episodes is like fluff. And I would rather just see them act stupid for like 5 minutes.
I'm so glad you said this. I actually was talking to Jack Fed about this because Jack Fed was in Dublin recently.
I saw you guys had a meetup.
Yeah. But this is one of the things that we talked about where we were filming a video or whatever, and someone mentioned the mini challenges being like really bad. And I was like, yeah, but if you're going to have so much fluff in the episode, I'd rather them just do a little bit of a mini challenge just so we can cut down on even if it's something stupid, just like, you know, baby sensory video, just come watch the pretty colors on the screen. Like, I would rather that than, you know, an overdrawn workroom segment.
I agree.
Yeah, same.
Let's just dive right in because the what is it called when you have like the elephant in the room?
You got there. You got there eventually.
I did.
Eureka in the room. Because she's the elephant queen, not in any type of other way.
So you're the one that's getting canceled. Whoa.
I don't think I'll be canceled for saying anything about Eureka right now. I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, I think Eureka's done enough.
I think I'm safe there.
Eureka's done enough because she went Tel Aviv and everyone went, maybe not. Anyway.
So we've actually had 2 Snatch games like in the last like week or so, and I think that leads us to the daily discourse about Snatch Game, Kayla, right?
Yes, and this is pretty much I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure it was though, the daily discourse from last season, which is made up characters. What are we doing at this point, guys? It's getting out of hand, especially because, as you just mentioned, Derek, we had 2 Snatch games air very close to each other. I'm not watching UK3, but Derek informed me that 2 of the choices for that Snatch game were a unicorn and Hitler's gay brother. So that's a lot to unpack. And then in this Snatch game, we had a Greek woman.
What name did she give her? Like, I thought that was like maybe she was being someone's wife or something, or like it was like
Greta
an actual
Feta Onassis, which is in this lore is I guess a Kennedy wife at some point who is just like a Greek stereotype.
So she's not real.
No.
Okay.
Just a Greek woman.
Got it.
I thought
How
she
do we
did
feel?
well with a Greek woman.
No, I mean it was, you know, how just in general though, give me your takes. How do we feel about made up characters at this point in the game? Have we lost the plot? Do we need to rein it in? Do we like the chaos? Pierce, give me your take. Go.
You know, it's funny because I feel like the discourse never changes because this time last year I was brought on for this exact episode of the Snatch Game and we talked about this exact thing in the daily discourse. Exactly. They're not listening to us. It doesn't matter what we say. But yeah. I I remember being a lot more low on it last time. I think now it's like, I think I'm going to use my exact same thing that I said last time, which is that I feel like at this point in the Drag Race lore, we are so far in that so many of the like normal characters that you can do have been used up to the point where people are now kind of, in order to not retread, I think they're going a little bit outwards. And I also just think it's a strategically easier thing to do because you can kind of create the character as you would like it to be, rather than if you're doing, you know, I don't know, like Gordon Ramsay, you have to like somehow take his personality and then kind of merge it into the Snatch game. I think you see it as like, oh, I'll just do like Bigfoot, you know, because it's easier to, because I can create who Bigfoot is. You know what I mean?
It's kind of a cop out, you know. It's kind of like, you know, other people are spending time, you know, researching their character and watching their mannerisms and getting their accent down, and like you can just be like, well, I'm a unicorn. Like, I'm not a specific unicorn, not a unicorn from this thing. It's just blanket term unicorn.
And I think it's gotten to the point where they're overthinking it, because the people who did well this episode, in my opinion, had real characters and real impersonations. And I was much more impressed with that than I was with a lot of the made-up characters. And I also just think, like, in the older seasons, you'd hear all the time of, like, the behind-the-scenes tea of, like, oh, production said I couldn't do this. They said I couldn't do that. They banned Rue Girls. There was, I think, season 7, Max wanted to do Miranda Sings, which is now just a fucking crazy thing to think about, you know, doing it from this perspective. And they said no. And it's like, okay, if they used to be so strict about like the areas of like what you could do, and now they're just like, you can do whatever. It's like, what are they saying no to? Are they saying no to anything?
They said no to Corey King doing Michael Jackson on the season 17 one.
Why? That would have been better.
And then they, in the Lollapalooza episode, when Corey King came out to do her lip sync, Michelle was like, I wish you were here as Corey Jackson. And I was like, well, you said this, you couldn't do it before. So I was like, why is she going to bring it to the freaking Lollapalooza thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think at this point, the queens are scared of Snatch Game. They're overthinking the shit out of it. They think it's easier to do made up characters. And then production is not reining it in the way that they should. I think if Athena was like, hey, I want to just play a random Greek woman, the answer should have been no. You have to play a character. Even like a mythological character. Something that has like some kind of root in something. Because it's like whatever. You could just play someone's cousin.
Trina's cousin, yeah.
Trina's cousin.
What are your opinions on, so like, where do you draw the line personally? So we, from what I'm gathering, is that we're not loving mythical, like fake characters, right? But what about like the Pope as an idea? Is that okay? Or is it like, would you rather like, you know, a specific Pope that someone is parodying?
I'm going to assume that they weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So they just chose the Pope as a general one.
That's my guess, is that they don't want to piss off somebody who would take personal offense to that, is my guess. So in those cases, I guess it's fine. I'm like, my guess is that Discord came in with like a real Pope, and they were like, no, you can't do that. And like in that case, I think it's okay. I think even like the Bigfoot, like mythological, like it's rooted in something. Like I'm not gonna like necessarily live for it, but like I think that's fine. It's just like when we're getting to the point where it's like, you're just playing a cousin of someone or a version of someone related to someone, so you can like just portray a stereotype. I think that sucks, actually.
Yeah. The word on the street is that on All Stars 11, there will be no Snatch Game. Do you feel like the show is close to dropping it like altogether? Like, are we nearing that like level of people being over it?
I think that they have two directions which they can go with it, or which they're kind of pondering, which is either to drop it all together or to do the Snatch Game of whatever it is. So the Snatch Game of Love Island, I think, is something that they can go. I know that they, on the UK versus the World season 3, they did some pageant as a Snatch Game. And so I think that that's probably the route that they might go, or they'll just drop it all together. I could imagine if they, you know, do not think that the people in the season that they're casting are going to do well on like a comedy challenge, I could see them being like, yeah, okay, let's just not do a Snatch Game because everyone's going to bomb it. Or I feel like they'll do like these kind of weird different versions that they'll make up, which I do like. I liked I liked that it was different this time around. I don't think it was the most perfect like structure for a Snatch Game, but it also was kind of like, well, what is like Snatch Game? Snatch Game is like a parody of Match Game, which ran in the 60s and then it had like a reboot in the 70s or whatever. And so it's like, at what point are we just doing an improv with celebrity impersonations that's not Snatch Game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people have said, people on the show, people who want to get on the show, that female impersonation and celebrity impersonation, it's not as much of a staple of drag as it used to be when the show started airing. I think there are just less people who are good at it. I think production is probably tired of everyone coming online and saying, Snatch Game used to be good, and now it's not. And you can very much see the difference if you go back and watch a lot of older Snatch Games versus these. And in recent kind of years where it's like, you only have like really a couple standouts and a lot of people are just kind of choking and overthinking it, and it's like not fun to watch at that point. I think that what they're going to do is I don't know if they're going to phase it out necessarily, but like Pierce said, I think they're going to just do Snatch Game of something, and it's really just an improv challenge, because the benefit of that to me watching the Snatch Game of Love Island is that there was so much bullshit going on like in the background. Like it was so much to look at and like perceive that you almost kind of ignore the fact that so many people are doing badly. And I think that's the benefit of doing a Snatch Game of Love Island where it's like half an improv challenge versus like the straight Snatch Game that everybody knows. So
I don't know how straight Snatch Game is, Kayla, as a concept.
That's fair.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So let's talk about this concept as a whole. We're doing Snatch Game. We're mixing it with Love Island. Like, did it work? Should it work?
Well, first off, what are your guys' opinions on Love Island? Have you seen the show? Do you watch it?
I've only watched the UK one. I feel like I can put up with like British people being a little insane, but like I've had enough of like annoying Americans being, you know what I mean?
I've only seen the US version. I watched parts of the US version this last cycle when it was like a really big thing.
Do you guys feel like they should have gotten previous contestants that are like known to be hot men out of drag to be the three? Like imagine if they had like Milk and like Corey King and like Plain Jane. Like would that have been funnier than these like three random men that they had?
The random men were nice to look at.
They were, all three of them.
All three of them.
I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if there were those characters that you said put on, I feel like they might have attracted a little bit too much attention away from the actual characters. Just because I think that they would be part of the improv at that point. But we've seen it done on the Snatch of Love, and people kind of, it's fine. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind. It's fine. I didn't mind the people that we actually got on.
I will say what was impressive was the set recreation. I was like, that looks like a Love Island set. They did a really good job with the production design.
I love that they made that set for The Bachelor, and then they used it again for whatever that's that one with Cynthia when they're like dogs. And they just like have kept this set throughout the years, you know. It's like it's all reliable. You never know when they're gonna bring her out, but she's waiting patiently.
And the way The Bachelor ate, and then it's been flopped since.
Pretty much. That's the other thing, is that these improv like dating challenges, in my opinion, since The Bachelor haven't been good. So it's like making Snatch Game go in that direction. I don't know. I
do think The Bachelor on All Stars 10 was pretty good. Like, not everyone slayed, but I think most people did a good job.
I just think it gets really like, I don't know. Snatch Game, I feel like, is less about, like, in its traditional format, is less about, like, the dating aspect of it. And so you can get a little bit more creative with your answers. Your answers don't necessarily have to be, like, romantic or, like, finding a man oriented. Whereas these kinds of, like, setups, it's always, like, you always get people who are just, like, I'm overly freaked out and horny, and that's the joke. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can only watch it so many times.
I do think that it does give you an interesting lens to do it, because if you take like a random Kayla, who is someone you would do for Snatch Game? Okay, just give me anyone.
Bruno Tanioli from Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, imagine him on Love Island. You know what I mean? Or imagine, again, I'll go back to my good old Gordon Ramsay. Imagine him on Love Island. When you try kind of like, as long as you don't go like the boring route of just like being, ornery, and then it's just like, it's fine. But if you have an actual like good person who's good at improv, taking a character who should not exist in like a Love Island setting and put them in Love Island, then it's pretty funny. You know what I mean?
No.
And that was my point is, when they're picking characters and, Rue's giving them advice and such, like, if your original character would have worked for the Snatch game, where you're just sitting on a panel answering questions, it might not translate to Love Island. And I feel like a lot of these characters just did not translate to Love Island. Like Lizzo, what is she supposed to do besides just be like horny? What is Jojo Siwa gonna do besides just be Jojo Siwa? Like, I feel like a good like Love Island character, like there's some kind of component to the actual like date that you could like funny about them. Like, what is it? What's funny about Gordon Ramsay being on a date is that he's calling his, the person he's going on a date with, like a donkey and like cussing them out. Like, but what do you do with Truman Capote on a date?
Yeah. And I guess they weren't expecting it. It seemed like they all seemed very. That's the other thing is that these queens every season now they just get fucking rattled as if Snatch Game is not something that they know that is coming. First of all, but they always get like scared shit by it, and then you tell them that it's different this time. It's Snatch Game, but it's different this time. No wonder everybody changed characters 1,000 times because they were trying to make it easier for them. We're like, I have to try on 17 different wigs and figure out a funny accent immediately, and it's like, guys, this is not good. This is not good.
Yeah, I think literally half of these queens changed their characters from like when they were given the challenge to what showed up on the set.
Yeah.
I think that the show likes that though. They want the drama of like everybody having to figure out and kind of struggle to change their characters, or if they are going to change the character, if they're not going to change it. I think that the show likes that. So I was going to be like, maybe they should give them a heads up of like, hey, just get like one that would be funny in this type of setting. But I feel like the show doesn't even want to do that. I think they want to kind of watch them flail a little bit.
Yeah. So I think we should dive in because we have lots to talk about. But first, what do you guys think about Rue this week? How do you think she looked?
Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, beautiful gowns, great. Just kidding. She looks great.
I love this color, this like dark emerald, and I love it is an old lady wig with like all these other old lady wigs she's wearing, but I do like this old lady wig with this dress.
Yeah, it works with the dress.
But really, we got to talk about Brooke Shields because this 60-year-old diva came, served cunt, and then left.
I am obsessed with her. She's such a great judge. She was such a great judge. She was so happy to be there. She looked like she was having so much fun. It was crazy when they got to the judging and they did the little like first kiss banter, and she was like, I had my first kiss with a 28-year-old when I was 11. And it's like, yep, Brooke Shields, that is your career. I'm sorry.
And it's like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, it's like, this child actor was like put in a predatory situation by a bunch of adults that failed her. Oh no, Slay, walk the runway, bitch. Let's go.
Well, did you see people are saying she's the new Ginger Minge because she was like, I've never walked a runway before, and people are finding like archival footage of her on a runway.
Girl, she doesn't remember. She's busy. She's a busy woman. She's had a busy life.
You
know.
She was very funny in Untucked because they were like teaching her like about serving cunt, and she was just like, sure, whatever, gay people, whatever you say.
Yeah, she zipped up Athena. That was great. Love that.
Yeah, no, she was great. And you mentioned Athena. She is the first one we're going to talk about. So Athena was random Greek woman in the Snatch Game. And on the runway, the category was 80s ladies, and they had to take a famous woman from the 80s and either recreate or like take inspiration from a look that they wore in the 80s. And she chose Joan Collins. So Pierce, what did you think about not Joan Collins? What did you think about Athena this week?
I know that like we're ragging on people who do like fake characters, whatever, but I actually thought that she was in the upper half of the characters. Like she was solidly in the middle, not like I do not think like a high placement or anything, but I actually thought that she handled all the kind of like quipping and stuff incredibly well. So I was kind of like not surprised, but I was like pleasantly surprised by her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think she did bad. I think she did well given the character. She was supposed to do Charlie Chaplin, right? That was her choice originally, which I would have liked to see. Just
I think like, Charlie Chaplin on a date would be so funny.
That's hilarious.
You could have him like flipping his hat and it like launches or like hits someone or
I don't know if Athena would have been the person to like. That sounds like a Jimbo character. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
very
I don't know.
Slapstick. It's very physical comedy, and I don't know if she would have been able to like bring Charlie Chaplin essence. But...
Yeah, my thing is like, I'm like, Athena's from Greece. Are there no, and not that I could name one off the top of my head, are there no Greek celebrities that she could have referenced?
I looked it up, and apparently she's from Florida. I thought
Not
has
from
Greek-
Greece.
She has
Not
Greek
from Greece,
heritage.
but she
She's
has Greek
Greek
heritage and like
Yeah,
spends
yeah.
a lot of time there and stuff. So I guess
She's
is like
club
immersed
in
in the
Greece.
culture.
Yeah. She should have just chosen a random Greek celebrity and then just done this exact same character because no one would have been able to tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I think. I'm just again, not that I can name anyone off the top of my head, but I'm like, surely there has to be a housewife or
Just
someone.
Pick the lead actress from My Big Greek Wedding. That's who she looks like. So just say I'm that actress and let's move on.
Yeah. So I think she did well given that. I like this runway too. I thought it was
Yeah.
good.
I
It was
love
a
the
good one.
LeMay moment. She looks very expensive. Joan Collins is so much fun. And I feel like this is a good mixture of Athena and Joan Collins.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Like some people went for like a 1-to-1, like I'm just recreating this look, and then others like dragged it up. And I kind of prefer the draggier versions of some of these looks. And she definitely took some creative liberties, and I think she looks great. So like much like most of Athena's weeks, she wasn't like the best, but she wasn't like the worst. Like she was like, yeah, she did well.
She was good. She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Close
she's getting a
case.
close case for me.
Close
Close
case.
case.
Up next, we have 7-time high placement recipient Jane Don't, who was Truman Capote, and on the runway was one of the singers from the B-52s.
Derek, I don't think you're gonna get this reference, but Pierce, you might. I don't know. People were
Okay.
saying she sounds like Eric Cartman.
Yes.
Yeah.
But who she really sounds like is Mr. Boss from Smiling Friends. Do either of you
really?
understand what I'm talking about?
I haven't watched Smiling Friends.
People have told me in my comment sections that I sound like Mr. Boss from Smiling Friends, which I do not see. But
Wait, that's so fucking funny. I don't see that at all. But
I don't
that's
see that at
really-
all either. I remember like I've gotten it twice, and the first time I saw it, I looked it up because I had watched like episodes of the show, and I was like, "That's like the boss, right? Like the kind of like crazy one." And then I looked at it, and I was like, "People see me as this? Like what?"
Anyway.
Someone should just do Cartman. Someone should just do Cartman.
That'd be
for
so
Snatch
good.
Game.
Yeah.
They
I
would
don't
not be
think you'd
allowed.
Butters. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I would do Butters.
Butters. Oh, I would love to see a South Park Snatch Game, but because of the fucking
Yeah, they
copyright
can't.
bullshit, you'd have to do like Matt Stone or Trey Parker as whatever. It's
Mhm.
stupid, dumb.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's so like, if you were to do like Cartman, that's so like provocative that I feel like you couldn't really lean into the character all that much without it being like cut from the show.
Yeah, like you couldn't do Seth MacFarlane and just be like, Brian or Stewie, because like most of what they would say would not be,
Would not
for
fly,
MTV.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry to derail that conversation. Pierce, what did you think of Jane Don't this week?
I thought she was really strong for me because there's a whole. Do we want to get into the controversy of Discord not being in the top now, or do we wait for Discord? Because a lot of people were saying that Discord should have been in the top over Jane.
Which I agree.
I
I
disagree.
also agree.
Oh, we can talk about that when we get to Discord.
Okay,
But
okay. But I thought she did really well, of course. I think that this was one of the challenges that, like, I mean, I haven't really been worried for her at all so far, but I feel like this is one of the ones that I was like, there's no way she's going home here.
Yeah.
And so I thought she did incredibly well. The runway is like decent, it's good. So like overall, I think she did great.
Yeah. I think that she had really high expectations because she is from Seattle and people from Seattle do well at Snatch Game often. And she's been so funny. And I feel like she was funny, but she wasn't like a laugh riot. You know what I mean? Like she was good, but I definitely laughed more at other people. And same with her runway. I'm like, I like her runway. I love the B-52s. There were just other looks I liked better. So I would give her a close case, but she wasn't in my top.
I would give her a close case as well. I liked her. I thought she was funny. I thought she was in character. I thought she was very present. And what I liked about hers is that I just felt like she was very in the moment and reacting to things like in character. I like this runway. I like the reference. I think she's sort of like one of those people who's kind of suffering from her own success in that like we've seen Jane do really well in comedy stuff prior to this. So like by the time you get here, it's like, okay, yeah, that's Jane doing like a funny character and it's like whatever. But I do agree that she should have been the third top spot. And I'll give her close case.
Close case. Lock
Close
it
case.
up. Lock her up.
Wow.
Up next, we have Kayla. I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to collect yourself. I need you to find your inner peace because we have to talk about our dearly departed Mia Star, who was Bloody Mary in the Snatch game and was Prince on the runway. Kayla, I'll let you take center stage here because this is your girl. This is your favorite. This is your mother. So I'm sure that you're in mourning right now, but
I'm so sad because like I think what happened here was that from the minute that RuPaul heard her choice, where she was like, I'm gonna be Big Ange, and he was like, well, 2 people have done that already. And then she was like, all right, I guess I'll just come up with something. And then like what she came up with wasn't a character. She had no jokes. She did not do a good performance and didn't seem really broken up about that, was kind of in good spirits afterwards and joking about it. I literally think that RuPaul took that as like a slight and was like upset. Like it's almost like the Tyra like Banks Tiffany moment where it was like, I was rooting for you. You want to laugh and like, I had that in my head because I was obviously watched the Netflix documentary. But I do think that like RuPaul was just so done with the fact that she kind of didn't give a fuck that, what happened. And I'm not going to say it wasn't deserved. I mean, we'll get to the lip sync separately, but I just think if she gave even like 10% more of a shit and like played somebody, I don't know, play like a big titty housewife or something and do like, she could have gotten by. I just don't understand why she did this. The runway, I honestly like. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. So, cold case. I'm sorry, Mia Star. I love you so much. This sucks so bad.
Yeah, the choice to do Bloody Mary is not my favorite, but I also feel like if you're gonna do Bloody Mary, have some references in there. Reference some mirrors. You know what I mean? Reference like being a demon. And I feel like she just didn't do like she could have just been anybody. Like you could she didn't look all demonic, I would have just been like, who is that woman up there? Like what's the angle that she's going in with? Other than again, like you're saying, she kind of was just like seductive. Like that was the whole like lens. But I feel like it was just I think she just should have done Big Ange anyway. I mean, RuPaul would have been annoyed, but if she had done it really well and had like I feel like it could have been better than this is basically what I'm trying to say. But I really like the runway. I think it's beautiful. I knew who it was when she came out of it being Prince. So it's cold, but like rest in peace.
Did she put a curse on herself by picking Bloody Mary?
Maybe.
Oh my
you guys
God.
ever play that game when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys play like Cat Scratch?
That's a Shane Dawson thing. That's all I remember that from.
Whoa, let's not. You really want to get me
like, did you see that Shane Dawson applied for season 19?
Yes,
or whatever?
Derek put the screenshot on the screen. I don't know if I believe it, but I really want it to be true.
I don't think it's true, but it's so funny. Could you imagine?
Shane and I were mutuals pre-cancellation like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. I know we don't talk anymore, but
so what I'm hearing is Kayla is in currently communications with Shane Dawson and his baby.
I used to be a big fan when I was like a kid, and like I don't know, it just was like a mutual online.
How did you get him as a mutual? How did he
saw that she was under the age of 18 and he followed her?
So bad. That's so bad. That's
like kind of though. I'm kidding. Alleged. I'm kidding. He probably doesn't even remember, but we were mutuals and I was a big fan.
He remembers.
Anyway, moving on.
I actually think Bloody Mary would be a hilarious choice for someone like a Jane Don't who will commit to a bit. Like imagine RuPaul is just like, welcome Bloody Mary, and she just starts like shrieking or something. Like it could have been something,
walking on her hands and like being fucking crazy.
Yes, do a back bend. I don't know, but I think that she was just defeated from the start, and that's what RuPaul hates most of all. Is like, I brought you here, you're on television, get it together.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but cold case from Miss Mia Star. Up next, we have our winner. This is her second challenge win. It is Miss Nini Coco, and she was David Attenborough. This is the first time we've seen this character done like super, super well, because Something Wong did it on UK1, and it was not good. and the lovely, iconic Dom Perignon did it on Drag Duel and was also on the bottom. But she won with him. And on the runway, she was Cyndi Lauper. Kayla, what did you think about Nene?
I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. It wasn't my favorite. There was one performance that we'll get to that was my favorite. But I thought she did well. Like she was present. She was interacting with people. She had actual jokes that referenced why David Attenborough would be there, and also like who he is as a person and as a character. The makeup looks good. It wasn't my pick to win, but I understood why I was in the top. This runway is good. I just feel like with some of these, I don't love this like category that they do with the Snatch game where it's like you pick a look of somebody to recreate sort of thing, because I feel like a lot of times they just focus strictly on the recreation and they don't do the drag part of it. And I think that this could have been like, it's accurate. It's Cyndi Lauper down, but like it's Cindy. I can't speak, Jesus. But I just feel like it could have been dragged up a little more. But I will give her a close case.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I wasn't like as obsessed with it as the judges were in terms of like and this was, call me crazy, I don't think it really gave David Attenborough that much in terms of like, I thought the accent kind of sometimes would tread into Austin Powers sometimes, and so I was just like, maybe that was like in the back of her mind. I feel like it kind of was giving Austin Powers a little bit. But I thought it was good. It definitely should have been in the top for sure. And I think in terms of like, if you wanted to argue this was like this and Jane Done's character were like the most fully, and Mikey Meeks were the most kind of like fully realized characters of the night, and that they actually felt like people and that they weren't just, like drag queen kind of like trying to be silly. I feel like they were the most kind of fully realized one. So I completely agree with her being in the top and potentially win, but I just don't think I was as obsessed as the judges were, but it's definitely a closed case for sure.
She definitely had like nature references and like animal references and stuff. But it was, I don't know. I didn't like laugh. I wasn't like, oh, this is an all-timer. And then her runway just being fine, but not like as dragged up as I think it could have been. Like, I'm giving her a close case, but I definitely think that they were trying in the edit, especially when RuPaul was like, I did not see you coming this week. And it's like, but like, it's not like she like knocked it out of the park or anything. It's not like she was like a revelation for Snatch Game characters. And last from the first group, we have Darlene Mitchell as Mrs. Claus. And on the runway, she was Dolly Parton. Pierce, what did you think about Darlene?
First off, I love Darlene. She's my winner pick. I'm obsessed with her. I run the Darlene Craves Twitter account. That's how
I was like, do you actually?
I'm obsessed with Darlene. Granted, she was a solid middle of the pack this episode. But I did enjoy the performance. I liked seeing her like laugh and have fun. And I feel like that's what's missing from the Snatch Game now. It used to be like fun. And I feel like people are taking it so seriously now that I feel like, just break character, have a little bit of, I mean, probably don't break character, but like, the fact that she did break character, it was like fun to see. And it just like, I think it created a good atmosphere like in the room. And then this was like one of, if not my favorite runway of the night. I absolutely loved it.
People are saying that because she broke character, she should have been in the bottom. Do you guys agree?
I don't agree. No. There were way worse people.
Yeah.
I feel like with such a fun character, she could have done more. But I don't think she did poorly. And I love her runway, except for the hair. That needed to be permed out way more to be 80s Dolly. And it also needed to be way bigger because like that's small hair for Dolly. And she's trying to do drag Dolly. But I feel like I'm gonna give her an open case just because I feel like
you hate her.
I'm sorry, Pierce. I'm sorry.
Because you hate her. And no other reason.
Like she could have done better. She could have done more, but she wasn't bad. So like open case.
I liked her performance. I think it was very safe. I loved Darlene. I wish she would have picked like a real character. I don't know. I feel like she really was. She's someone who I don't, have any worries about her performance capabilities. And I think she would have thrived if she picked someone real. I just thought Mrs. Claus is sort of a safe choice if you're doing like, I don't know, old shriveled up, horn bag. Like it's whatever. So I don't know. And I like this runway a lot. I do agree, could have been bigger hair, but this is my favorite runway of the night, honestly. So I'll give her a closed. Yeah.
Hear me out. She should have done Rue McClanahan.
That would have been really great. Damn Damn.
I think she would eat that up.
Yeah,
Personally.
I agree.
So our other group starts off with Kenya Please Her as Lizzo. And on the runway, she was Shaka Khan. So, Kayla, what did you think about Kenya?
This was just unfortunate. This was just everything about this was unfortunate. I feel bad because she's a Lizzo impersonator, like as a job, and I feel like she probably does a good job at that, when the requirement is lip syncing. I do think it's just hard to make Lizzo funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, just because like she's a big personality, but it's like, where do you really go with that? Like there's no angle there, I feel like, and she took the worst possible angle with it, which is just like, I'm horny and I want to suck some dick, which like
Deep throat a flute.
I want to deep throat a flute. Like, okay, that's your one joke, and then where do you go from there? Yeah, this is bad. Besides Mia, this was the clear worst for me. This runway, I'm gonna, like you said, people wanted mall drag, and so in that way, I'm gonna defend it because I'm like, I almost want more of this,
Okay.
because I'm like, it harkens back to the days of old Drag Race, which we all sort of long for. That being said, say what you want about the outfit and the mall drag and whatever. If it's Shaka Khan, it doesn't matter what the rest of the outfit looks like. The hair has to be 10 times bigger. If you're doing Shaka Khan drag, the hair has to be 10 times bigger, no matter what the outfit looks like. So, cold case for Kenya.
This was not Kenya's week, okay? And like, neither was last week or the week before. But one of these days, she's gonna have a week, and it's coming up soon. And that's what they know that Kenya is gonna have the best challenge performance of all time in the future. Okay, that's what they see. They know it. Their prophetic visions tell them that Kenya is gonna have a great week upcoming. Okay, and that's why they kept her this week. That's why they kept her after the lip sync. That's why she's here now. As for this specific challenge performance, wasn't the best. It wasn't. It was like kind of I mean, okay. The positive is that she went big. She was not sitting on the couch doing nothing. She was, it wasn't like when it bombed, she like kind of sunk into herself the way a lot of people would. She went hard, and she went hard to the very end. And I appreciate that about her. And then on the runway, people thought that Darlene Mitchell were going to be, bringing back mall drag, but Kenya's here to prove everybody wrong. But it is cold case. I don't think there's any like argument that could make it any other.
Yeah, I mean, is Lizzo the new Beyonce? Because 3 people have done Lizzo, and all 3 have been in the bottom, I believe.
Who else did Lizzo?
What about
Coco Jumbo and Silky Nama Ganache? Or was Silky was maybe low. She was maybe low that week.
No, yeah. This is the new
Lizzo.
Beyonce.
Yeah, maybe just retire Lizzo from Snatch Game.
I just retire Lizzo. Period.
Twitter in 2025 be like.
Idea, okay? What if her angle of Lizzo was Lizzo's coming back on TV for the first time since being canceled, and she's trying to like repair her PR like thing, and she's trying to like come back and kind of like win favor with the audience. What about that? I think that's terrible. I wouldn't do it, but it's an idea.
It would work for like a regular Snatch Game. Would not work for Snatch Game of Love Island.
That's true. That's true.
I'm sure she also doesn't want Lizzo sending her or anything.
She hasn't gotten the cease and desist yet, so
Yeah,
she wants to stay strong with that. But yeah, no, it's a cold case. It's a cold case. So I'm so sorry, Kenya. But up next we have Mikey Meeks, who was Drew Barrymore, and on the runway was Olivia Newton-John. Pierce, what did you think about Mikey Meeks?
I thought she did really well. I think that this is an easy character to kind of fumble because Drew Barrymore is so kind of like hyper and kind of super intense, I guess. And it would be easy to just lean into like the physicality of like touching people and kind of like grabbing and holding their hands and stuff. And I didn't see her touch someone once, at least I can't remember. And so the fact that she was able to still kind of, portray that kind of laid back energy while still not kind of like, because I think it would be easy to just hang out with people and be like super like grabbing someone's hat as they're saying an answer and stuff. So the fact that she was able to do it in like a tasteful, respectful, and kind of like realistic kind of way was cool to see. On the runway, I didn't love it, but apparently those shoes that everybody was talking about are accurate to the look. How do you feel about that? Or should she have just done like a heel or whatever?
again, it's like it's accurate, but you're on Drag Race,
Yeah.
so drag it up a little bit. And the look that Olivia wore, like in real life, had about 3 times as much fringe as this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did not like this look. This look was a boot for me.
Yeah, it's not. It's accurate, but it's just like, at what cost is it?
I was about to say at what cost.
At what cost?
But I thought she was good. Like, closed case for sure, though.
Yeah, this is my favorite performance.
This is your favorite?
Yeah.
Go on.
We're gonna get to it. I didn't like the Pope. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. I didn't like it. So continuing on. Yeah, this is my favorite. I thought she did a great job. I thought like she nailed the character. She played an actual character, which was great to see. I think everything that she said was funny. And yeah, I loved her performance. And I think, you know, Drew Barrymore has been redeemed in that way, because Willow did it the first time and it wasn't good. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this runway. I think it's just sometimes the issue I have with Mikey's runways is that it makes her look, a lot of what she wears makes her look kind of like small. Other things are distracting from her because I think what she wears is not like super dragged up all the time. And so that's how I feel about this runway. I'm not like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So closed case still.
I'm kind of, maybe I'm in a bad mood. Maybe I'm a like asshole. I liked her Drew Barrymore. It wasn't a laugh riot. I thought it was good. The voice was good. Like the mouth was good. I just wasn't like laughing. But I really don't like this runway guy. I really don't like this runway. So I'm like, do I give her an open case?
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Okay, I'll give her a closed case.
Bullying works.
Yeah. It's peer pressure. It's not bullying.
Up next we have Juicy Love Dion, who was Jojo Siwa, and on the runway was Celia Cruz. And I feel like Juicy has kind of had. Why are you laughing?
No, I just remember something that she said I was gonna say that it's crazy that they let her say that Jojo Siwa's gone back to being straight on the show. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a storyline forming where Juicy was asking for help a lot, and people aren't giving her that help anymore, and now she's not doing well. That's kind of the narrative they're trying to spin for Miss Juicy. Okay, so what do you think?
You know what? I'll go. I'll throw myself on the grenade. This was fun. Like, it wasn't terrible. And I feel like Jojo Siwa is a character that would be easy to bomb in a way that's really embarrassing. I don't think it was super. It was like a little bit embarrassing and cringe-inducing, but not to an extreme amount. And so I definitely think it deserved like the low. I definitely do not think it should have been in the bottom. I saw some people online saying that it should have been Mia and like the Jojo Siwa like impersonation being in the bottom because they thought that this was like incredibly bad. I thought it was a plain low like placement. Anything above would have been a crime. Anything below, I mean, I wouldn't have loved it. I think that this is fine. It was bad, but not like the worst thing I've ever seen in the world. She got a couple of laughs at the beginning, and I think that carried her. And then the runway is amazing. I think that's like obvious. So it's a cold case, but I appreciate and like her.
Yeah, I just wish, and I'm gonna say this: people are having an issue with the critique that RuPaul gave.
Yeah,
where it was like, oh, like Snatch Game is a look inside your brain, and like based on how you did in this challenge, I don't really know who you are. And people said that's harsh. I kind of agree with it though, based on this thought process, because she went, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna switch characters like 100 times, and JoJo's a dancer and I'm a dancer, and that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? I just feel like part of Snatch Game is, like RuPaul said, it's just a look behind your perspective and what you think is funny, and like what you could bring to a comedy challenge. And I just feel like if you're gonna be like, I can't bring anything because I don't know anything, I don't have any cultural reference or any like kind of commentary to make. I love Juicy. I think she's a great performer, but I understand the critique. So I thought this was fine, but I'm just like, I don't know, come better prepared. I don't know. At a certain point, it's like, come better prepared. You have to do Snatch Game. Why are you acting like you don't have to do it? You have to do it. And this runway I love. I mean, I got excited when she came out in the hair because I've been waiting for Juicy to do big hair, but then I was like, that's the hair she wore in the SNL challenge. So like, it doesn't even count. She just
Same wig.
the same hair, and I feel like that just made me upset. But the dress itself is really good, so I will give her a cold.
I kind of do feel like she was as bad as Mia and Kenya, but the runway was like so good that like she should not have been bottom 2. And when she was saying it on Tux that like she's been through some stuff, in the last couple of years and she like doesn't know who she is, like that kind of puts not into perspective, but like everything kind of makes sense now with what she's been doing on the show. Like she can't necessarily rely on her own instincts, and that's why she's asking for help from everyone else and getting their perspectives and their opinions and stuff, because I feel like she just doesn't trust herself, and that led to this. And yeah, it wasn't great. I just don't think JoJo works. Lemon made her funny, but like JoJo in the incarnation that she's in now, unless you do you think trad wife JoJo would be funny?
I don't think RuPaul would get it. As the resident JoJo Siwa scholar on the panel.
Yeah, how many videos about JoJo Siwa have you made?
I have made a ridiculous amount of money talking about JoJo Siwa. And you know what? That's the free market, baby. But yeah, I don't think RuPaul would have gotten it. And I also don't think that they were filming before that happened. So she wouldn't have been able to do that this time. But maybe somebody will try it. I don't know.
She should have done the karma dance.
She did do that. She did that in the confessional thing.
Yeah.
She did it.
Oh, in the confessional. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm giving her a cold case. And lastly, one of the most controversial placements of the season thus far, we have Discord Adams, who was the Pope, and on the runway was Reba McEntire. Kayla, let's start with Pierce, and then we'll go to Kayla. So we'll balance out.
They won't let me speak. They won't let me speak.
I think so. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was funny. I liked it. And I do think it should have been in the top 3, especially even just for like storyline reasons of like she's been safe the entire season and like low once, I think. And so it's just like, just give her something like this. She did incredibly well, in my opinion. Just put her in the top. It's fine. And I also think she deserved to be in the top on top of that. Now the only critique that not the only critique, but one of the critiques that I would understand with that if someone had with this is that a lot of people will just do a gay version of something and then just call it a day. So it's like Satan, Trinity the Tuck, just make it gay and then it's fine. Then it's like Bigfoot, season 17, just make it gay. That makes it funny. And now it's like the Pope, just make it gay. It's funny. I do feel like it is a tiny little bit of like, I think you could argue that it's been done before, that it's just taking something and then making it like very gay. And again, like the gay Hitler thing on UK season 3 or whatever, versus the world. And so it's just like, it's common to just take something and then just make it gay. But I did really like the references, and I thought that the dance and then like the meditation thing and then like doing the cross, it was really funny. So I really liked it. And then I also loved the runway, and I thought this is one of the best runways of the night. So for me, this is like a top placement for sure. And it's also closed case. It's closed case. Now we're gonna go to switching over to Kayla with the bad news. Let's get into that.
Okay, I don't think this was bad. I didn't think it was funny. I like you said, I think that doing generic character but give him a gay voice is not like, it's not funny. I did not find it funny. I'm sorry. And I thought that like everything that she did was like a canned bit or joke that she like rehearsed in her head before she got there. I didn't feel like she was really present and bouncing off people that much, and I thought it was safe. I don't know. I agree. I think the shock value of her, like, the prosthetics is cool and stuff. I don't know. It's the Pope, but like gay. I don't know. I just personally didn't find it funny. I like this runway though. I do really like this runway. I thought it was really good. So I'll give her credit for that. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I just thought it was cringe.
That's fine. You can have your opinion. Speak your truth.
Thank you.
But you know what?
You're so brave. You're so brave.
You're so brave.
Thank you.
Is this your like Catholic school trauma talking?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with the Pope. I think I'm okay with the Pope. Okay with me. Nothing bad happened there. It's all good. I don't know. I don't think it was bad. I just didn't. I was not living for it. I didn't think the one bit I did like was the yoga bit where she had them put the cross. Like I thought that was funny, but like the rest of it, I just did not. I didn't find any of the lines funny. I didn't like it. Derek, over to you.
Well, would you give it an open case?
No, I'll give it a close. I just think that safe was accurate.
That's what I
Because
thought.
I really like the runway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was my favorite of the night. Like by far, this was my favorite of the night. No one else came close to me. She was the only one I consistently laughed at. And I just think it was really smart. And I don't mind the like take something and turn it gay, because I do think there's so much humor in that, and depending on what you choose, you can really like kind of change. It's not just gonna be the same thing every time. You know what I mean? Like when the devil is gay, that's different from like when Bigfoot is gay, or like when the Pope is gay. So
When
like
Hitler
I don't
is gay.
necessarily
Make everybody gay. Hitler, Saddam, make them all gay.
everyone's gay. Yes, Lindsey Graham. Let's make him go. Oh wait. So I think that Reba also was like, this is one of her best looks. I think it's a dragged up version of the look that she was referencing. The hair's bigger, the way that the all of these little like shapes on the top go. It's a much more like draggy version of what Reba wore. The like length is a little suspicious, but I think this should have been. I think she should have been in the top last week, and I think she should have won this week. And if I were her, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed.
She was kind of annoyed and untucked, I saw.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that she shot herself in the foot that first episode where she was like, Cardi B, why wasn't I in the top?
Yeah, I think they want her to crack because they want some kind of narrative thing going, and she just like won't do it.
Yeah, because she's an amazing person. She's an amazing person. If you see her on Twitter with her activism, I freaking love that. This woman right here, I love her. I like actually love her.
Yeah,
Darlene and Discord. Those are my two.
You like the double D's?
Oh, the first time I heard that, but yeah.
I think that she came in like based on her persona and her edit from the first couple of episodes. I think she came in wanting to be the villain and then just kind of like dropped that, and now she's just being herself. But they're still trying to edit her like, or they're trying to like make her snap like she is the villain. But it's just like I don't think it's in her.
No, she's just a little, and I could say this because I'm neurodivergent. She's a little dorky and a little neurodivergent, and I love that for her. So, you know, love that for her.
Close case for Miss Discord. The winner of this challenge is Nini Coco. Do we agree?
Why not?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I think she did like incredibly. Again, like for me, Nini, she had a fully like developed character, and I feel like just based on that, I don't mind her. Like she's definitely. I don't mind her winning. Yeah, like I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's all right.
I think if not Discord, then I would probably give it to Nini, but I think there was a large gap for me between the two. But the bottom two
is Discord as the Pope and Discord as Reba.
Hold on, I hit something else.
She separated into two people.
Add stage. Okay, the bottom two are Mia Starr and Kenya Pleaser. What do we think? They lip sync to Head Over Heels by the Go-Go's. Love this song. What did you guys think of the lip sync?
I thought it was good. Although I thought not to add to the discourse, because I know that it's all on the online spaces, but I personally do think that Mia like absolutely not wiped the floor, but I think like for me she was like the clear winner, and I'm not even like biased towards Mia or Kenya. Like I feel like, and this is one of the lip syncs where I feel like I can actually be like quite objective in it, in that I feel the same way about both of them, and so it's like I feel like Mia personally outdid it for me, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think Mia won as well, and I mean I am biased as a Mia Starr fan. I literally think that RuPaul had such a bad time with Mia, experiencing Mia this episode, that he was like, nope, Kenya annoys me less. Like I literally think that was the result here, and I don't love that, because I also like next week is the Rusical, and I really think Mia would have done a good job. And I think it was also like a strategy decision in the sense that Mia, and I've said this to Derek before, is not the kind of queen that Drag Race crowns. And I just think she is harder to get rid of because she is such a good performer. And I think they saw the opportunity and they took it. And because we know at this point that Kenya's not winning. So keeping Kenya around another week, and I love Kenya. keeping her around another week is easier for them,
Yeah.
than it is to keep
Mhm.
Mia and have her go any farther. And because Mia could send some favorites home, and it just sucks, and it is what it is.
I agree with both of you. I think that also part of it for maybe Rue and the producers is that this was not as good as Mia's first lip sync, but this was Kenya's best lip sync. I still think Mia won, but I think maybe that's where they were going with the logic.
People were saying that Kenya didn't know the words, but I didn't think.
I watched because I guess I
don't
saw
know.
that, and so when I was rewatching this episode, I watched this lip sync twice. Kenya knew the words. Kenya knew the words. So
I think it's just that's gonna just stick to her forever. Literally, Michelle annihilated this girl's drag race run. She's gonna be associated with that forever, even if it's not deserved. And I feel really bad.
She needs to, if she comes back for an All Stars, every lip sync needs to be the Coco Montrese. Yeah, and poor Kenya, because she's gotten some death threats and hate stuff. So stop being assholes.
Stop it. Get some help. But I was going to say, I feel like it also could be that I think producers think that Kenya is a better confessionalist, and I think that they think that it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, okay, Mia Star and Kenya Pleaser, who is the audience going to want to survive this lip sync more? And I think that they were like, probably Kenya, because Kenya is a really charismatic person. And so I think that they might have even been like, people will want Kenya to survive this, so we'll save Kenya. Or like they felt like in the edit, Kenya would be a really like rootable underdog. But maybe that's not translating to audiences as well. And so even though people were like, they wanted to see Mia stay, Kenya was like, no, we're gonna save Kenya. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew what they had with Mia Star.
I
don't think that they were expecting the audience to fall in love with her. And honestly, from the Meet the Queens, I thought Kenya was going to be my favorite, and Mia would be like, whatever, like she's fine. And Kenya, I mean, I still love her, but I'm not rooting for her like I thought I would. And Mia has become like one of my favorites, if not my favorite on the season. Like, yeah, it's hard.
I felt so bad for her and Untucked when they hid the snacks. Where are the snacks? Like, she was just so upset.
She's like, I want my peach rings.
I was like, everybody stop bullying Mia Star immediately. Stop.
This elimination hurt.
Monkey.
She what?
She's Punch the Monkey.
Oh, Punch the Monkey.
She's the Punch the Monkey of the cast. They were all bullying her.
She's the Punch of the season.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad. I miss her already. This elimination hurt like more than I can't even remember the last elimination that made me feel like, oh, and like get shocked. Like when it happened, I was like, what? Yeah.
This was some that meme that's like, it's like the broccoli in the bowl and it's like, I just made some bullshit. Like that was that's how I feel.
Yeah, but love Mia Star. She is a legend and she'll be on All Stars. Like absolutely she's gonna be on All Stars.
I think a guarantee.
Everyone who's gone home so far, who would you bring back?
Mia.
Let me think. Let's go back through the week. We have Vita. I think she could be good on All Stars. Who else?
Sierra Miss.
Who would? Okay, gonna keep going.
Briar Blush.
Oh, Briar, absolutely Briar. No question. Absolutely
Mango.
Briar. I'm locking in Briar.
Okay, and Didi Fuego.
Briar. I'm a Briar stan. I thought that she was going to go to the very end, and I was incredibly wrong.
Well, that's something that people are saying about this season is that it's very unexpected, this elimination order. Like, you cannot guess who's going to go next.
Yeah.
I think that they're doing that on purpose. Because even in the beginning of this episode, the whole, like, before they do the title credits or whatever, the whole one this season was, who knows what could happen next? It's so crazy. The people who are getting it was like very like I remember Athena was being like, this season is so unpredictable, and Jane Don't was like, who knows what could happen? Anyone could go home next. So I feel like they're very much setting up that as like a theme of the season of like, kind of shock eliminations almost.
Pierce, who is your winner pick right now?
I have Darlene is my number 1. Discord is my number 2, and I think that that's the top 2 of the season for me. It's gonna happen, but it's probably not gonna happen.
I was like, neither have a win. Discord has been safe 8 weeks in a row.
but it's a person. It's just it's there's just something about their souls that like radiates an energy which I really connect with. As for who I think is gonna win, I could see. That's a great question. I could see Mikey Meeks win it. Would that be crazy?
No.
That's Kayla's pick.
Yeah, I think I could definitely see, because I feel like they did a little bit of like the ed of like midway through. Now she's gonna like, and she's gonna go on to do really well. I think Nini is just surprised. If she does win, that would be a really surprising win, because she's been such a kind of like not a huge character in the season so far. She's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Then who else is like a big kind of, who else who has some wins? Jane. Jane. Juicy. I feel like Juicy was really high on Juicy, but now that they're kind of setting up this storyline for her, I'm not super convinced. And then Jane, I think, has a huge chance at winning. Absolutely.
I kind of feel like Jane doesn't, because Jane don't.
Jane
I kind of feel like
don't?
Jane don't.
I feel like Jane don't.
I feel like people aren't living for Jane on social media. They're not really rooting for her. And I feel like maybe this, like, I don't want to say woe is me, but like she always has like paragraphs to say on Twitter every single week. And I feel like people are like, you're in the top, stop complaining. Like, I feel like people just aren't living for her like I think the show expected them to.
Yeah. I feel like she's just been incredibly consistent and doing well, but maybe hasn't had like star moments outside of the challenges. I feel like in the workroom or kind of like, and we've seen her like helping people. She seems like a very like lovely person, but I don't feel like we have like incredible, clean insight into like who she is as a person kind of vibe.
Yeah, maybe more vulnerability would help.
Yeah, not to get that critique, but I do think that some part of that is true.
Next week is the Rusical. I could see Kenya doing well there. If she learns the words. If she knows the words, I think she could do well.
I think so too. I feel like Kenya's gonna get like one challenge where she like really kind of like shines as like the star. Same with Darlene. I feel like Darlene could get like one, oh my god, Darlene, you're amazing, you're beautiful, and then she's gone the next week. I feel like that's Darlene's path on the competition.
I'm very worried for Discord next week because it's a Rusical. There's a lot of dancing. There's a lot of choreo.
I was thinking that too. I'm scared. That's my girl. That's my girl.
Pierce, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back every season to chat with us about the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy coming on. And yeah, and I'm happy to in this dark hole that you are describing of season 18. You guys say it's the worst season ever and that you're hating it. I'm happy to provide a shining ray of light in this little tunnel that you built.
Yeah, that is exactly what we said. Pierce, where can the people find you? What do you have going on in the world of Runner Eye?
You can just look me up on the internet. Runner Eye on YouTube, Runner Eye YT on like every other platform because I couldn't get Runner Eye. That's me. You can find me there. I make videos about Drag Race. I mean, I feel like people know by this point.
The fact that someone else took that name before you is crazy.
It's actually sick. It's someone on Twitter has it, and he hasn't used it, and like I don't think he's ever posted anything. He just like scalped the name, and now I'm left with the YT.
Yeah,
you should kill him.
Okay. No, I wasn't thinking about it, but now that you said it, I think I might.
Kayla, what do you have going on in this next week?
That's a great question. I'm gonna make a video about something. Don't know what it's gonna be about yet. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. You can find me on YouTube at Kayla Says. I make videos that are not about Drag Race. You can also find me on Twitter at Kayla Says More. Right now, I've just been tweeting a lot about Olympic hockey, which is now over. So I will be tweeting less about that and now going back to tweet about regular hockey. And you can also find me on Instagram at Kayla_Rosa. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Derek, where can the people find you? What do you have going on?
Who won the Olympics?
For the men's Team USA and for the women's Team USA. But I was rooting for Canada for the men's.
We won everything?
I mean, we won hockey.
Who won the whole thing? Who won the whole Olympics, though?
You don't win the whole Olympics.
Isn't the whole thing that like there's a winning country every year?
No, I mean you have a country with the highest medal total, and in this instance, it would be Norway. Norway has the most medals total, but there is no like Olympics winner. You just have winners in individual and team categories.
That's so funny.
Did I just Eurovision the Olympics?
Eurovision has a winner. That's correct.
Did Ireland have any athletes in the Winter Olympics? I don't even know.
I think we did. I think so.
We did.
I'm not sure what end though. I'm not sure what end.
Pierce, if you had to pick one Eurovision song to be a Drag Race lip sync, what song would you pick and why?
I don't watch Eurovision. And you know what's good about that is that I don't give a fuck about Eurovision, never did, and then it got canceled. So now I'm like always on the right side of history. Same with McDonald's, fuck McDonald's. It gave me food poisoning twice, and I haven't eaten it since 2019. And guess what got canceled? Guess what? Starbucks. I hate coffee. I hate caffeine. I don't like relying on other stimulants. I feel like I have enough stimulants on my own. What got canceled? No problem. No problem. I don't use any of that little stuff.
See, Pierce has always been on the right side of history, and he loves my channel. So, thusly,
Everyone should go subscribe to the Drag Detective.
Twitter loves me now.
Yes, we did it.
I'm making my return. Roll out the red carpet.
He's back.
No, that'll never happen.
Join us on the Hell app. Do it.
It's addictive.
Anyway.
It's not worth it. Don't go on it.
No.
Truly.
You didn't you leave?
And like,
Pierce?
guess how long I lasted? Around 3 hours, and I reactivated that shit, and I'm back.
That's
on it.
pretty
hours.
good.
You messaged me. You're like, I'm out of here. I'm never coming back. And it was 3 hours.
But that's how long it takes for things to blow over. You know what I mean? I got canceled by Athena Dion, and it was really scary. It was really scary. I'm scared to go to Greece now in case she's gonna be there waiting at the
You
airport.
can never go to the Mykonos ever.
Never.
They're gonna take you away.
But now she likes my tweets and stuff, so I think she's over it. I think she's
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Truce initiated with Athena Dion.
yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.